I get a little too competitive. Like I start accusing people for no reason, even though like I know that like they're my own teammate. Like I would still accuse them because like I'm like I'm one of like the main people, you know.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our PS series. I'm Kalina.
I'm Tina.
I'm Finola.
I'm paying.
And the purpose of our PS series is to have conversations with different people about their personal experience in their lives. And today we have our special guest, Amaza.
So
So, Amaza, please introduce yourself and share a fun fact and hopes and dreams that you have.
I'm amazing, obviously. But a fun fact is that I like to play volleyball and I like to do makeup and I love to share the gospel at my school. And my hopes and dreams, my hope is to travel around the world to different churches and to help either youth or children's ministry grow from other churches with their ideas and to be a motivational speaker. So
Wow, okay.
Where would you like to travel since you kind of want to travel and visit different churches?
um I am planning my first stop will be Australia. I'm hoping to move there after like college. So I know it's gonna be quick, but that's my first stop, hopefully. But wherever God leads me is honestly the best thing ever.
Do you know people?
I do not.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
little nervous, but I hope to go to a church where I am fully loved and where I can fully share my heart to them. So
I love Australia. Take
come
me
visit
with
me.
you.
Come visit me
is
in my little apartment.
is there a reason why you chose Australia?
um, Honestly, I don't know. I just like woke up one day and I was just like Australia, because I think that first of all, I've never really been there, so um, and it will be just nice to just feel like a different environment instead of like the United States, kind of. Maybe I'll pick up an accent when I come back.
How long do you like plan to live if you would, or when you go, like how long do you plan to live in Australia?
Um, I don't really know. If the Lord calls me to be there more than 5 years, that'll be great. But my max will probably be five years. If not, um, after that, I want to work for our CMA district, not the Hmong district, but for the American district, down in Colorado Springs, which would be nice.
You mentioned that you like volleyball. Have you played volleyball for school or like tournaments or whatnot?
Yes, so I am currently playing volleyball for my college that I go to. Um, it's pretty fun, but kind of stressful as being like a student athlete because you really need to know your time management. Because you go from classes to practice, or sometimes like you have back-to-back classes and then you have practice, but sometimes you have class and a break or another class. It really depends. But being a student athlete, it's really helpful because you get all the support from like your coaches, your advisors, and your teachers. I'm glad that I go to the school because our teachers are so graceful that when we have games, they're just take the quiz whenever you can or just get your assignment in whenever you can. So it's pretty nice.
With COVID and everything, are you guys still like training how you guys usually do? Do you guys have games still or?
Our season has our fall season was actually canceled, so now we are just practicing and lifting. Our gym has actually been shut down because we are redoing the floor. So now we're playing beach volleyball. And so we're practicing on that, which is pretty fun because honestly, you get more endurance. I'm playing on the sand volleyball than on the actual court. But lifting has been pretty good, getting some gains, muscles that I never knew. um, but uh, but we do have a spring season coming up. But we would just be playing in our own conference. We won't be playing people outside of our conference.
How long have you been playing volleyball?
I don't know, 7, 6. I don't know. I think that I didn't really start playing seriously until like senior year, kind of. I actually wasn't really recruited to play. Um I just reached out to my coach and I was like, hey, like, can I come early and see what your volleyball team's like? And she was like, yeah, sure. So I toured the place and I came early and I tried out and I was surprised that I made it. I was like, oh yay, but yeah.
So before then, you've never played like before like high school, middle school.
No, I didn't. I just played for fun. Yeah. You know.
That's like I've never heard of like kind of trying out for sports in college. Maybe it's
Right.
just weird. How is like that process like? Because usually people kind of get scouted.
Right. So it depends on what division you're going to. Usually for D1 schools, they get scouted, and D2 schools as well. D3, they're a little bit more lenient on our coach does go out and scout people, or some people do they do bring in their films into our coach and be like, hey, this is me, like I would like to join your team. But for me, I on our website, it's like, oh, if you want to play a sport, then like just email this person and give them your stuff or whatever. Yeah.
So talking about college then, since we're on that topic, going to a more, well, like how has like your faith impacted you in college?
I would say that I went through a lot during my freshman and sophomore year, especially with that transition of like, oh, I know where my faith is at, like being a leader at church and being um, that older sister at church, and then like going to college, like it really breaks down life for you. Because when I went, I really saw how broken I was in my faith. Because like working in ministry, I wasn't growing. And I find it so important that even if you do work in ministry, you still need to go to the church services and continue to learn and bear fruit for God. And I learned that like while I was still leading my youth, like I was slowly dying when I went to college. Because what I went through, like it was like, I don't know. But as of now, my faith, I still kind of stumble a little bit because I have like a blog that I like to write about, and I put like my personal information out there. So if y'all want to read it, you guys go ahead. It's out there for everybody to read. But I like share my personal struggles with everybody that I've encountered on on this campus, and it's honestly it's been a blessing to see where God has started me as freshman year to see where where I am now, and I can't wait to see God grow in me more. So this year, I asked God to show me my brokenness, and He really has, and that has really strengthened me as of now today.
So since you like mentioned your blog, what is your blog called? Because I don't think we know the name of it.
And so it's basically just like Amaza's life. It's just yeah, amazinglife.com. You can go on my
I'll put it in the description
in the
box.
description, like go on my Instagram. It doesn't matter. It's on there too. Yeah.
When what was the like reason why you started writing your blog? Was there a reason why, or
There was a reason why I started writing my blog. I took this class here at my school. It's called Spiritual Personal Formation, and it basically develops your faith when you are struggling, where you can go to when you are struggling, and who you can go to when you're struggling. And our professor made us write a blog almost every day on what we learned about in class and how we can apply it into our lives. And I really liked writing. Like for me, I like to write and I like to read. And during the summer, I was like, let me start a blog, but when you start a blog, it's really hard to keep up with it because, you do have your own life, and sometimes you don't write in it. I haven't written a blog in a long time, but I wrote it because I knew that I wasn't the only one struggling, and I knew that what I wanted from these blogs was encouragement from other people to continue to grow in my faith, and to also show people that I am growing in my faith, and that God is still good even though that I am struggling in what I am going through. And I love to reach out to people. I love when people read my blogs and they reach out to me and they tell me that they share the same struggles. And I love to pray for them as well, and just be the light to them and how they can get past through it.
I thought something that I just realized, like, all four of you guys are like writers.
I know. I was just thinking about that too. I was like, oh, right.
I was like, now that she mentioned she likes writing and reading, Kalina, Tina, Ping are all English, like in the English field.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. English represent.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry. Just like one random thought. I was like, wait a second.
It was funny because I was watching your guys' other, like your last video that you guys posted, and they're all like, oh, I'm an English major, I'm an English major, I'm an English major, and then like somebody just goes, oh, I'm this, and I'm just like, dang, okay, you got some smart people here.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
What is your major? I don't know if we.
Yeah.
Right now my major is international relations, but it's for missions. But I'm gonna change it to international youth development. It's more of like, the classes for international relations are more like political and like, all that jazz. And it's not really fun. It's really hard. But I enjoy learning about like the political stuff and like what our government has to say. But those are most of my classes, but I enjoy more of my biblical classes more. So I think I'm going to transition to international youth development because that's what it's more basically about. It's like the gospel and learning how to develop a church and how to uplift other Christians to God and non-Christians to Him.
So then, what do you hope to do? I kind of feel like you kind of already talked a little bit about this, but like just going more into like now, like knowing what you are majoring in, what do you hope to do with that after college is over? Because I know you mentioned you want to move to Australia, and I think you said like to build a ministry there, right? Yeah.
Honestly, I think that it's whatever God has in plan. Like whether if it's for the older ministry, the younger ministry, or like even though I'm not married, like the married couple ministry or like single adults, wherever God has in plan for me in different kind of ministries, like that would be great because I would love to learn how to work in different departments in the church and help them grow as well.
I know you also like mentioned earlier when you were talking about your hopes and dreams about being a motivational speaker. So kind of like where did you kind of want to go with that? Like how would you implement that into like the ministries that you kind of want to do?
What I would do with my motivational like speaking, I would do more like travel and just like speak the gospel, like wherever they need me at seminars or big conferences. Like that would be a dream. Like honestly, like if I could just be on that billboard, no, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
If I could just be up, like people knowing that I am just a person who loves to share the gospel and a person that they can just run to and just speak about God, like that's my goal, just to be able to be on that stage and share the knowledge of God and the hurting of people and how we can just help others grow, and I can help others grow as well.
So if you were to like look back like 10 years ago, middle school or high school, like did you ever think that like this is like something where you want to go do?
If you had said this to me in like elementary school or like middle school, I'd probably be like, no. by that time I knew that I wanted to be a nurse. That was my original like major when I came into my school. But as I grew more in my faith and the more I took Bible classes, and instead of like my nursing classes, I fell in love with like my Bible classes more than my nursing classes. So that was just kind of like a sign of like, you need to ditch the nursing classes and just focus on your Bible classes, and what you want to do and where God is leading you to go. What was the question again? I feel like I went off track.
You basically just answered it. Yeah, it was just
Oh.
like if you thought like thinking from 10 years ago, if it, yeah, basically if you would think that this is the path that you would be taking. Yeah. Wow. So you initially decided when you
I
first
didn't really,
came.
yeah, I didn't really decide until like last year, mid-semester of like first semester.
How were kind of, because like you took nursing classes before you kind of wanted to change, like how were those classes for you at first?
They were pretty stressful just learning about them, but by the grace of God, our professors are so graceful that like they, if you need help, their doors are open 24/7. Like I took bioscience here, and our bioscience teacher, like professor, graduated from Harvard, like Harvard, and you're at this school, and you are so smart, and she's here from like 6 in the morning to like 10 o'clock at night, literally. And her office doors are open 24 hours. All of our professors are open 24 hours. I had a professor where um, I emailed him at 2 in the morning, and he emailed me like 5 minutes later. I was like, "What are you doing up?" Like, but by the grace of God, like, the professors are so willing to just sit down with us and have one-on-one with us, and just teach us one-on-one to actually graduate and pass. So I wouldn't have passed those classes if that didn't happen at our school.
Actually, so cool. Like just to hear how they're, yeah, open
Yeah.
24/7.
They're so nice.
They really are. Like, I've been in quarantine for 2 weeks, and like I was like missing like a couple assignments, like 2 or 3 assignments, because I was like, I'm at home, I'm gonna relax, not gonna do anything, not thinking about homework. Um, and I was like messaging him, I was like, I'm at home and I can't do anything here, and he was like, it's okay, like when you come back, get it done as fast as you can, or when you can get it done. I still haven't gotten it done yet, but it will be done soon. But yeah,
So understanding.
they really are, and they love to pray for us. Like every before every class, we will pray before we start our classes. And sometimes we would even pray after we end our classes too. So it's a good school. I love it.
Are your classes just like are they pretty big or like small? Because sometimes pretty small classes. Right?
Our classes are pretty small. We have enough time to do like one-on-one even in classes, which is awesome because I know that some schools don't have that. Our ratio is usually like an 8-to-1 ratio, like 8 students to one teacher. So I had an English class my freshman year, and he would teach, and then he would be like, so what did you write your paper on, or like what do you need help on your paper, and then he would like answer everybody's question, or he'll be like, what do you have a question about this, to every student, like out loud, and he will answer all of our questions and stuff like that. So
So then, you guys don't really have a issue with social distancing since there's only like 8 of you guys?
um as of now, like we are still recommended to wear our mask in class, and a lot of us has like we've been doing a good job wearing our mask in class, because we respect each other, and like we don't want other people to get sick, and we also don't want to get sick as well. um but after every class, we would have a designated person to clean the classroom for the next class to come in.
So going kind of away from college. I'm just going to like your high school experience. I know you grew up more in like the outers of the cities, like not in the Twin
Yes.
Cities, but like outside of Twin Cities. So how was that? Like how was like your high school experience in general?
My high school experience, I don't really know. It was, it's high school. Like, I feel like all high schools are kind of the same, but not always the same. My high school experience was just a high school experience. It was kind of just like graduate. That was it. It was just like focus on your studies and graduate, especially being in like an Asian, I would per se, is like that's the most important thing is just to at least get a high school degree and go to college or but my high school experience was fun. Like I was looking through pictures of like my high school experience and I was like, oh, I miss high school, but I would never go back.
No, not me. I look back and I'm like, ugh, I can't believe I went there. I never want to go back. I don't miss anything.
There are like some certain events that I didn't go to. Like I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to school dances because for me, I just kind of saw them just as like, oh, they're just dances, you know. Like it's just whatever. Like I can do that when I get married or you know, I have a dance at my wedding, you know. But like buying like dresses, like $300 dresses was not for me. But I made money off of people from like doing like their prom makeup and like taking pictures and doing their hair and stuff like that, which was even better than not going to prom.
Was there in your high school, was there like a lot of monk students?
There was a good amount of us. I would say that they were about like 15 of us. So there was a lot. And at our school, although at that time it was more of like a white school, it was very diverse, which is really nice. Like um, I had all different types of friends, you know. I never really stuck with the Hmong people. That's the only time I stuck with them was with lunch, you know. But even though I ate lunch with them, I would like eat lunch with them, but like get up and go talk to like my white friends, my black friends, like my Mexican friends, you know, because I like to interact with like other people. For me, like I can't um sometimes like for me I can't be with somebody for more than 10 minutes or like I'll get like used to them and I'll be like, okay, next person.
In high school, when you were deciding like which college to go to, like did you know that you wanted to go to the college that you were at now?
No, I didn't. I wanted to move far from home. But it was the only like college I visited. And when I stepped foot onto this campus, like I just felt the warmth of this campus. Like I felt like God hugging me in this campus, like you have to come here, you know. And it was so nice because like the person who was touring, giving me a tour, she literally knew everybody on this campus. Like every time when we like turned a corner, she'd be like, oh hi. And then like when we turned on the she'd be like, oh hi, you know. And that's the really nice thing about this campus, that like you know everybody and a lot of people do know you. And everybody here is super friendly, and like if you just sit at a lunch table by yourself, a random person would just come up to you and just sit right next to you and get to know you, and it's super nice. So like when I left the college, when I was on touring, I looked at my dad and I was just like, this is it. Like this is it. Like I already know. Like was out of the picture. I didn't even think of when I like left this college.
That's actually wow, crazy. Like the moment you like stepped on, you're like, oh yeah, like for sure. I think for like a lot of people, it's just like, oh, I don't know.
And I just feel like that's just amazing of like how God's like presence is, because like if he knows that he wants you there, he's gonna show it, you know. and he really showed it. And although I have struggled here, he still has brought me so many blessings here, more than my struggles.
So, I know one of your hobbies is like makeup. So, kind of just like when did you kind of start, I guess, getting like your interest into like makeup to kind of
When I was younger, I remember my sister like doing makeup, but it wasn't like the makeup that I would do now, because the way how makeup has like transformed to like what we do today has drastically changed. So like I wasn't so into makeup. I just like did it because like, you know, it's like what girls do, you know. Um but I have my cousin who's like kind of like a YouTuber or whatever, you know, beauty influencer, and she actually got me into makeup. Like I was watching her videos, and this one day she did my makeup, and I was like, dang, I look good, and this is kind of fun. Um, but um, I didn't really start makeup until like freshman year of high school. Like the first thing that I started off is the brows. Like the brows is the most important thing in the makeup routine. It's what shapes the face. It's like when I remember freshman year, I would just sit in my bed every night, and I took 2 hours. No, maybe like not 2 hours, that's over dramatic, but like it took me 30 minutes just to do one eyebrow. And like now that like it's been a constant routine, it takes me like 5 minutes just to do one eyebrow because I'm so used to it. But I didn't really grow into like the makeup that I like to do now until like junior year into senior year, because like I was starting to see people do like all these cool stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I was like, maybe I can do something like the similar but different. So that's when I really got into it, and that's when I kind of like took it seriously. But like people are like, oh, you should do it like as your career, but I don't do it as I wouldn't do it as my career. It's just something that I love to do when I'm by myself, when I'm bored, like at 2 a.m, just, hey, let me just play with my makeup, you know. And I love to do people's makeup as well. So I've had a couple of my friends here and my school like, hey, can you do my makeup for this dance, or can you do my makeup to take pictures? And I was like, yeah, like I would love to. And making people feel pretty or like make them feel beautiful, it's like it gives me butterflies in my heart, like, oh, I just like made somebody's day just to like make them feel pretty, or something like that. Yeah.
So then, who would you say would be like your, I don't know, I guess like your greatest influence in the, I don't know,
Beauty industry.
yeah.
um I would honestly say myself.
Oh my
um
gosh.
Even though like I'm not a beauty influencer, um like I honestly didn't really like to watch makeup tutorials, like, or like I wouldn't like to watch like people like how they would do the look. I would just be like, oh, okay, how do you like blend, or like how do you like put on eyeliner? And that's like all the tutorial that I would watch. And I honestly just learned it for everything for myself. But I would say like Bretman Rock, if you guys know who he is. I like Patrick Starr. Uh, yeah, the people who like do like the most like caked, baked, everything, kind of stuff.
So then how much money did you spend on makeup?
That's um, that's kind of like a rough question to answer. Um,
Like more than 2,000?
as is like
Well,
looking
like
at my
over the years, like just what you've collected.
um, I don't know. I bought so much makeup, and I given out so much makeup that like, and I bought people like I've also like buy makeup for people like for their birthdays, or you know, grad parties or whatever. I would say I spend a lot on makeup, but I used to I used to like buy an eyeshadow palette and buy two of them just to use for me personally, or and the other one would be to show. Like I wouldn't touch it at all. And like I bought like multiple palettes like that. So like usually like when I give away my makeup, it's like the second makeup palette that I never touched, or I just used to like swat on my swatch
Swap.
swatch on my arm, or just show people. Yeah.
So what would you say is like your top 3 favorite makeup items?
Makeup
you have.
items or like
Yeah.
brands.
Let's do items.
Items, okay. Eyebrows for one, like the Anastasia for one. My second would be honestly the contour, like the nose contour has to be like snatched. Like it has to be good. And then highlight. The highlight is everything. If you don't, there are days when I go to like when I'm rushing to class and I wouldn't do like a full face like this, but I would just do like my eyebrows and like some bronzer, and I would just like go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot my highlight, and like I would even though I'm running late, I would purposely run back to put on some highlight and then leave.
Oh my gosh.
How long does it take you to get ready, like your everyday makeup?
So I don't do this every day. Usually I just do it when like I want to. But usually like a face like this would take me, if it's like with music and if I'm like taking my time, I would like do like 2 hours because I'm jamming out, I'm having fun. But usually when I do my makeup, I like to listen to sermons, just because like it could be, I'm doing something that I love, but I'm also still being engaged with God, like I'm still getting that knowledge that I still need to bear fruit of. So usually like a natural face would probably take me like 30 minutes, but this takes me almost an hour to like 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah.
How would you explain like your style of makeup that you do?
I would say modern. Just like the typical, I wouldn't say like modern, like early to like 2000 to 2019. I know that as of like kind of going off of this year, like more people are going with like the natural eyebrows, but like it's being slicked up with like soap and like I don't know, like Instagram. All those Instagram videos, but I try to like stick with the trend, but like when I stick with the trend, it doesn't look good on me. So I'm just gonna like go to like my old stuff, but I am always willing to try something new. Like if it's new makeup, or if someone's like, oh, you should try this mascara, and I'm like, oh, okay, like if you say that it's good, I'm gonna trust you to use it. And I've done it with like a couple of people, and yeah, I'm open to whatever and new makeup trends, whatever we have.
So like kind of like I guess for like people who are interested in makeup, like what kind of advice would you give them if like they were like beginners?
I would say go for it and don't be scared. Like even if it looks ugly, make sure you have someone to tell you that it's ugly.
It's ugly.
So you know that it's ugly and you can do better, and like you can do
that.
better. And it's also really nice to have a friend who knows how to do makeup. I remember like when I was little, when I was like maybe 16, and my cousin who knew how to do makeup, and I was just like learning how to do makeup, and she's like, do it like this, and I'm like, okay. And I would be so scared to do my makeup in front of her because like she knew how to do makeup. But like now, like I when I do my makeup in front of people, I'm just like, although like I know how to do makeup, I still kind of like shy away because like I don't want them to be scared. I'm like, oh, she knows how to do makeup and she's staring at me, But like if they're gonna ask for help or tips, like I would love to help them. But yes, it's go for it. If it's ugly, make sure you have someone to tell you that it's ugly. I am one of those people that would like, hey, your mascara is running. So like I would like go up to them and like swipe their mascara and be like, okay, now you look good. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those friends like, you got a booger in your nose. So like let me like tell you about it because
Okay, I was like,
everybody wants to be presentable.
I thought you were gonna go pick.
I was like, you're not gonna like start taking in their
No.
abs, are you?
I would never. I'd be like, you have a booger, you know, so just go into the bathroom, look at it, and take it out. You know, I'm one of those friends.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I am not that close to people. I would never. I don't want to pick my own nose. So,
What would you say is your favorite look that you've done? Because I know that like on your Instagram and Facebook, you post a lot of pictures of your makeup looks, and they're usually very colorful and detailed and not like the basic eyeshadow look. Like you have other things on your face. So what would you say is your favorite look that you've done?
I don't know. Honestly, like I've done so many that I don't remember my looks. But I would just say the recent one that I just did, it was like kind of like a black hole around the eye, and then it was like kind of like a sunlight or like the moonlight kind of like on the edge, and there's like stars and a whole bunch of like rainbow colors. I would say that one, but I also liked my Winnie the Pooh one and my Mickey Mouse one. Those were also super cute because they were like really simple and very detailed. Lots of patience. But those would probably be my top 3 that I've liked so far. Yeah. And I love when my friends send me like on Instagram or like on TikTok, oh, you should do this and you should do that. And I'm like, I hope you guys know that I don't have a lot of time to just to do it, but I would love to do it one day, you know. But
Oh, I'm muted. I was just looking through all of them or trying to find it.
oh boy.
But
I
like,
can insert it into the video.
I know. Insert
Pick a good
her
one at
picture.
least.
I found it. Well, this is not the most recent one. It's like the second one you posted because the first one that you posted, but the most recent one was like in a TikTok video. But I was like,
Yeah.
I can't really see it.
Oh, the astronaut one.
Yeah, how long did it take you to do that?
I honestly, I don't know his name. I found it on his Instagram. Honestly, should have tagged him for credit. But what he did was so much better than mine. What mine was just like a bootlegged copy of it, honestly. But what it took me about almost like 4 hours, honestly, because I was just like blending and blending and blending. I'm like, oh, this is not blended, or my hand will like start hurting, you know, and I'm like, okay, snack break, bathroom break, time to eat, go do something else. And I'll be like, go upstairs with like a half like full face with like something, and my family would be like, whoa. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, it's not done yet. Okay, it'll be done in like 2 more hours. Yeah, but it stuff like that, it takes a lot of time, and I'm surprised that I have a lot of that time in my hands because I know that I can be doing something better. But yeah.
Would you like this is not like really makeup, but then just because like you've done like almost like a full face like of different kind of designs and everything, but like, would you ever think about doing like body painting? Because that's like a whole
Yes.
other thing, but like onto the next level of like what
Yes,
you do.
I've actually done a couple of body paintings on myself, but I don't post them because like as a Christian woman, I feel like modesty is best. Usually like when I do like artwork on like this lower half, um I just feel like from here down is already too much. So like I've done a face where like it's only been like to my neck, and I think that modesty is always best. So like when I do one that it's just from here up, it's only just for my eyes only because. But if people do want to see it, I will show them personally, but I won't show them out in public.
What if they share it to the public if you share it with them?
No, I will be sharing it from my own personal phone. Like I will show them my phone, and then my phone will come back to me. I won't
Okay.
send them out.
Here, that's how it looks like. Bye.
But if I know that my friends are trustworthy, or like I know that most of my friends are trustworthy, and if they understand where I come from, and I know that they're not going to share it out with anybody else, then I will send it to them, be like, hey, look what I did. And I've done it with a couple of my friends before. I'm like, yo, like, look what I did. Isn't this so cool? And they're like, yeah, it's so cool. But usually I don't post those kind of stuff on social media because I want to be as modest as I can be and to glorify God, you know.
Do you have like other like so what when you do makeup, sometimes it's like from inspiration, or have you done like things where you're like, oh, I want to try it out on my face and like just do it? Or are a lot of things like from inspiration?
There are some days where I'm like, let's look through Instagram and like let's look you on like what I can do. Those are most of my looks that I get them from. But usually my own inspiration, I don't have that kind of good makeup knowledge just to like know what color goes together. Although I've been doing it for a long time. I just don't have that time to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this on my face, you know. So I really do rely on people's in their own on their own inspirations to do it, and also to make it my own. But my own inspiration, like unlike everything in makeup, is just this. It's just what I have on right now.
That's really cool. I wish I can. I'm very bad. But like whenever I see you like post your pictures, I'm like, wow, that's like looks like so detailed, and like it would take a lot of time, and I don't have that patience for myself, or like that commitment to like
Right.
do something on my face. Yeah.
There'll be like some days where like I'm gonna do this look and I'm just like I'm like, my first thing that I do in my makeup routine is my eyebrows. And there are some days like, oh, I'm gonna do this look, and I'm like in the middle of one eyebrow and I'm like, ugh, I give up. Like I haven't even started yet and I give up. But I always, you like, if you want, I would say that it's always worth to finish it, because at the end it's so worth to see like where your time has gone and like, wow, that was fast. And like, and the end result is super pretty, you know, and it's so worth it. And like the details, Facetune is a god. We love a good editing app. So because in person it looks different, but like the way how we like Facetune everything to make it more like presentable is better. But yeah.
Um, Other than makeup, do you have like any other hobbies that you also enjoy doing? 'Cause I know
I
we
do.
talked a lot about that.
I love to read books, like on my, like these books. I read these during the summertime. They were my books for class. And I know that people don't read books for classes during the summertime, but these weren't like textbooks. These were like books that you can actually read, like fictional books that you can actually read. And so one of them was like a devotional book that I read, and I absolutely love it, and I recommend it for everybody. Um, but I like to read. I like to write on my blog. I just like to sit and chill and play board games. Nerds, kind of obsessed, a queen at it. Um, I love to play Catan. We play that a lot here at school. We play almost like 5 games in a row a night at like 12 in the morning in the library. It's kind of competitive here when you play at our school. Any types of board games, I love to do puzzles. But one thing that I love to do is reading my Bible and like doing journaling in my Bible and praying. Um, I also just love to like reach out to people. Like there are days where I'm just like, hey, I haven't talked to this person in a long time. I did that today with one of my friends in class. She's my accountability partner here at school. I haven't seen her in 2 weeks, and I was like, hey, we haven't met up yet, so like let's meet up, you know. So yeah.
Does anyone ever cry during nerds since it's so competitive?
I wouldn't say like cry, but I would say like swish the cards away.
Oh, so like angry.
Wow.
It's
It's like another version of flipping the table.
yes, it is. Actually I had a friend who was playing Catan here, and like he got so mad because we kept picking on him, and he only had like one more point to win, and like we kept picking on him, and he was just like, forget this, and he was like we're like, hey, it's okay, dude, it's just a game, but he just did it just for the fun of it, honestly. But for nerds, it gets really competitive here. Like we just taught new people how to play. Like I knew incoming Hmong people here, how to play nerds, and they are obsessed with it. And it gets to the point where we're sitting, and then like when we're almost done and we're like trying to like win, like we start standing up and like our chairs would like flip over and be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna win, and then like we ended up losing, but it's it's all good.
I remember when I was teaching my Korean friends how to play nerds when I was studying abroad in Korea, and literally after I taught them almost every single night, they would like come to my room, knock, like, are you doing, what are you doing? Like, can we play nerds? And I was like, sure. And they would play and like never stop. Like Koreans, they love to study, but when they had the time, like they wanted to play nerds, and it was so funny. And like even during their break time, like they would come out and like, can I play too? And I was like, aren't you studying? Like, it's like my break time. I'm gonna take a break and play nerds. And they are crazy. So then before we left, we like gave them the cards that we bought in Korea. And like, you guys keep it and play it, and they just love it. I think any beginners just get right into it.
I remember playing my first time. Like you guys are the people that taught me how to play, because it was a day before the church picnic, your guys' church picnic, and you guys taught me how to play, and I was like, this game is like dumb, like it's just solitary and spider together, and then like when I played it, I think my partner was Kalina, actually. She's like, oh, you can just be my partner, and I was like, okay, I guess so, and like we played, and she's like, hurry up faster, and I'm like, I can't go any faster. I can't flip 3 cards like that, And I was just like, okay, I'm sorry. We ended up losing, but it's fine. And then the next day we had your church picnic, and there was like 10 of us playing. I'm like, this is a little too much. Like maybe, yeah. There's like a lot of us playing, and I was like, hey, let me just try it on my own, I was like, I wasn't winning, but like I was like getting close to winning, and I was just like, dang, this game is kind of fun. I'm like, okay. So, and then I went back home when I taught my family how to play, and I was like winning. I was like, dang, this game is fun when you win. It sucks when you lose this game, because like, you do all the laying down. And like when you don't win, like you put all that effort in and you don't win, you're just like, well, wasted my time on this game.
Yeah, I remember when we first started, Phil was like really into it. She would like teach whoever we met. She's like, you want to play nerds? Here, I'll teach you how to play. And then she'll like it. Yeah.
I remember because like every time when we came to your guys' house, like we would always play games. That's it. That's all we came. Like we would play Up and Down the River, and we would deal with pennies. Like you guys would have like a bag of pennies. I'm like, let's play up and down the river, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Or like we would always do karaoke at your guys' house. Oh, I love karaoke. It was so much fun.
I'm out of that nerds phase now and into another phase.
Yes,
but I do
are.
miss playing nerds though. Nobody wants to play nerds with me now though.
I honestly forgot how to play. It's been so long.
It's different. Like when I played it here with people, like when I taught them how to, when I taught them how to play, like they only play with 3 cards on the field, not 4 cards, and they can like, and like when they play on the field, you can do like every other color. They don't do the single color, which was weird. I was like, oh, I never played that way, but it's fun playing that way too, because like it's fun to learn how people play. Yeah. Like I learned like this one version when the guy came, like he played with all his cards laid out on the table, and I was like, oh, that's weird. We should be playing with like our cards hidden in our hands, But yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a Nerds app too.
No way. Is it
Yeah,
kind of like Phase 10?
No, well, wait, do you say it's the like Phase 10?
Yeah, is it kind of like Phase 10? Like how like the way it's
Oh.
set up?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah, where they have other players, and I don't remember, but it's like I think a little bit different because then I think there are some moves that like because it's an app, so then if you want
Right.
to do something, it might not let you because
Right.
it's not like an illegal. Well, it's like it would be like an illegal move, but it's fun to play. I had it on my iPod and I used to play on it a lot, but no, I don't.
Like, what other like games do you like to play besides like Catan and Nerds?
I like to play Rummikub. You guys haven't played Rummikub?
Yes,
yeah.
I love it.
I'm
Oh
a
my
beast at
gosh.
Rummikub. Like I get a little too competitive. Like I would literally, if someone lets me like sit there for like 10 minutes and be able to like look at my board and look at the field and like just see like let me touch everything, I would like put all all my stuff down. But sometimes like it takes a little too long and they get mad at me because I take too long. Like hurry up, like we don't got time for you, you know. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, like I just want to win. I also I like to play Catan. I've gotten so good ever since freshman year I came here to school. They like teach you a lot about Catan and they're really competitive, so like, it makes you want to be competitive and win. Um, I don't know, like any kind of board game, like Munchkins. Have you guys ever played Munchkins?
Oh yeah.
Yes, TJ and I love Munchkins too.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I like to play Phase 10, Uno, and you also gotta always stay loyal to Goldfish. I play that every night.
I thought it was Go Fish.
Goldfish?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
You said
I
gold.
just said gold.
Oh, did I say Goldfish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Goldfish? I've been saying
Goldfish.
goldfish this whole
Goldfish?
time.
Oh.
Yeah, I know,
Go.
same. But it's goldfish,
Have you ever played Uno that was like double-sided?
On the flip.
Oh no. I played Spicy Uno.
No, like there's like the card Uno, it actually has like a dark side and a light side. Like reverse Uno or something.
It's the
I've
Uno
never
flip.
played that.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
Uno flip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is
Oh, I
that
never
new?
But yeah, it's pretty
New-ish.
new-ish,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
there's
one's
a
fun.
spicy Uno.
Yeah, Spicy Uno.
What is
It's like
that?
Spicy Uno, so like there's like certain numbers that will have different kind of like tasks that you have to do. So like if there's like a double 5, then like you can slap it. And then like I don't know, there's like different kind of like rules that you can play. It's kind of like slapjack but like Uno style. I also like to play Monopoly, but it takes forever. I always lose and get bankrupt, but it's okay.
What was that one game where it was like pink and it had candy canes?
Candyland?
Candyland?
Yeah, I
Yes,
loved
and
the
Shoots and Ladders.
visual of that game.
Oh, Shoots and Ladders
I
was
love
fun
Shoots and
too.
Ladders.
That one's good.
I love to play any kind of game. So like if you guys are down to play games, hit me up.
We need to play Murder.
Always dude. Honestly, yeah, murder.
I also like to play like Avalon.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I get a little too competitive. Like I start accusing people for no reason, even though like like I know that like they're my own teammate. Like I would still accuse them because like I'm one of like the main people, you know, just to like make them feel bad. I remember this one time where we had one of your guys' girls like birthday parties, and but Yang was like she had the cards and she was like shaking them like behind her, and she went, "Oh my god!" And they were all like good, and she was like, "Oh, never mind, I'm sorry." Like that's like a memory in my head of Yang forever.
I think
I
I
think it's on
remember
Facebook.
I
that.
remember.
I think it's on Facebook.
Yeah, it was during our Valentine's Day hangout. I
my
think.
Oh, wasn't it during
I was like, I've never
Johnny's
heard of that.
birthday?
Or was it Christmas?
No, it
I
was
can't
a birthday.
remember.
I think it
Oh,
was
it's John's birthday.
Yeah.
Mhm. because we're like in our
I
house,
remember that.
in the attic or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, that was
I
intense.
remember we
And
were.
because we were so close at the end, like the good guys had to and the bad guys had to. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we have to win, like we have to win. And then Yang like played us. She's like this. And remember when she said it down, she goes, oh my gosh, I told you. And we're like, dude, it's all like all good. And she goes, oh, it was crazy, but it was fun.
I remember that day. That was a very funny day.
Oh, I think we stopped playing Resistance because we got too competitive.
Gosh, yeah. I'm always afraid to play like Resistance, Coup, and
I love Coop.
the Salem game. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Sam.
I also like to play like non-card games, kind of like Grog, or have you guys ever played Grog? No, or like or like Killer. I also like to
Oh,
play
yeah.
Mafia. Or like I like to play Killer, and I'll like capture the flag football, any kind of like physical stuff. Yeah, love it.
So I think we did play Grog before when our school did the tour at our church.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys did. I wasn't there. I was in PA, but our school loves to play Grog.
Yeah.
Especially when like it's dark in our school. So our school only has like 4 levels, and we can only go to like the first 3 levels, and usually the first level is pitch black when we play, because like we turn off all the lights, and like there's just this long hallway that the only light you see is the red exit sign, and that's all you see. And it's kind of scary to go down there and like run down there because it's dark and no one wants to run down a dark hallway, but it's super fun. We play it all the time, but we haven't played it at once this year because of quarantine rules and COVID rules, but we will soon. I know we will.
Is it like a murder, that game?
Kind of like so the grog there's one grog, maybe 2. I think we always play with 2 grogs because it's faster. So the grog gets to hide parts of a flashlight, like the battery, the head, and like the body of it around the campus, and the people have to find like the flashlight pieces and put them together. And when we put them together, we get to flash the grog, and he's out. But while we're finding them, the grog has to come chase us before we can put the flight together. And if he gets everybody, then we're all out and he wins. But if we flash both of the grogs, then we civilians win. Yeah.
But
Like kind of like cops and robbers, but like with a
Yes.
scavenger hunt to
Yes.
it.
you know how you said like there's that like long dark hallway? Like how do you guys like if you guys are running, like don't you guys like crash into each other?
That's why we don't run in that hallway. But when we only run in that hallway when it's necessary. Yes.
Okay, I think that's all the time that we have left. Thank you so much, Amaza, for coming on to this series and just talking with us. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and push that notification bell to know when we upload, which is every Sunday. And don't forget to follow us on our social medias, which is on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll also link Amaza's Instagram in the description box. Thanks for watching. Bye.